Welcome back, friends, to JW Friedcast, your favorite leaders and company owners. Brother, you heard me?
And brother, let me get $1. We have a very special ritual or event.
Event
Tonight. Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our usual blood ritual of Jesus Christ, and we're gonna drink the blood. Well, some of y'all.
Not everybody.
Yeah, never. You know, it's
this
like
is exclusive.
Yeah, you know how the rules go. You know, with the 144,000 out of the 7 millions that we got now, but not including the other millions that passed away, even the ones back in the Bible times.
Right.
But 144,000. We're not quite there yet. We're almost
close. And once they all drink, then the new ending is here.
Right. Yeah. So we just want to welcome everyone. Make sure, friends, you're getting out there and inviting people to the ritual.
We have many people who have been invited. We have even bent our grooming rules this year. So now people can come in pantsuits. Brothers don't have to wear a tie or jacket. We have to make these new recruits feel very welcome.
We do, and we've lost so many members just running our pockets dry that we even had to tweak it. Even if you just fellowship, we even gonna speak to you at the door now when you come on in. Yeah. Just come on back to the blood ritual, because I'm dying of thirst. Oh yeah. YouTube people, what's going on once again?
Yes, what is up, y'all? Well, we have a very important talk to give, okay?
Yeah, the most important event of the year, as they call it.
Yes, oh my gosh. The memorial is such a serious time of the year. And guess what, guys? We got our invitation, even though we have a no soliciting sign outside of our door.
Come on now.
Make the bell don't knock, so that's telling you we can't knock. Oh, he said we could leave these in the door.
Yeah, but then it goes with.
Because we're not soliciting anything, we're just inviting them. I'll take the blame. Because we're not knocking and we're not making it weird.
It's hard here.
Well, they didn't knock or they didn't make it weird, so we have to give them some grace, I guess.
And she even said, well, he said I can leave. I ain't nobody said you can leave nothing. If anything, this is why I'm believing that Jehovah's Holy Spirit is directing us. Why he send y'all to the apostate's house?
Sent to an apostate's
house. Come on. Thankfully for them.
Somebody's grandma.
We wasn't there at the door.
Yeah. But anyways, we are going to just hop into the video, right?
Yeah, let's dive into it. This is going to be a good one. Now, this time of year is a big thing for Jehovah's Witnesses. They say, what do they say? It's the most important time of the year, the most important event in history. So they do, like a lot of, Christians do the Passover. But this one.
Yes. Or they do Palm Sunday.
Yeah. This one right here is a little bit bizarre if you ever been to one. So with them, most people that are Christian believe everybody gonna go to heaven.
Yeah.
But with them, it's that 144,000 teaching, which there's some other videos breaking that down. XJW Critical Thinker got one of the best ones.
Okay.
But basically in a nutshell, you don't know for sure who are going to heaven.
Nope.
But they say that certain people know for sure, like I'm one of the chosen.
Yeah.
Now there's millions of witnesses. And there's been millions that have passed on, and not including the people back in the Bible times that were chosen ones.
Yeah.
So somehow it still ain't got to 144,000. And they keep changing the teaching the longer time goes on.
Yes.
So you go to this meeting and they pass around the wine and the bread, but everybody doesn't get to take a sip. And some people even get judged and looked at crazy.
What?
For doing what?
If they do eat the bread, eat the offerings, then sometimes people will make up whole stories about them. They will say, oh, the people who know just know. It's a gut feeling, like Jehovah has told them, okay?
Yeah.
But simultaneously, when somebody does have that gut feeling or whatever the case may be, they are looked at like they are insane, especially if they're not like very spiritually well off. If they're not the pioneer elder, served at Bethel, blah, 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 then you are going to get dragged like a dog if you take that offering.
Yeah, for real. Even visitors that think, all right, I'm a Christian, I'm going to heaven. You kind of laughed at a little bit like, the visitor ate the bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But it's a very normal teaching outside of this religion, you know, because I think it's Palm Sunday or something. Like, there's other religions that do it like every week or every month or something, and they take the offerings at their church because they all believe that they're going to heaven.
Right.
So with Jehovah's Witnesses, it's very different. At the beginning of the Jehovah's Witness organization, everybody was going to heaven. So everybody was a part of the 144,000. But the religion became too big, so they had to, of course, give new light and change their teaching.
Yep, because it was filling up them seats real quick.
Very quick.
Yep, but that's kind of, in a nutshell, how the memorial works.
Yeah.
And I think one of the weird points about the whole memorial, before we get into it, the order that they pass it around is so... It was just always left field.
So extra.
It was, extra. That's the perfect way to put it. You pass it through everybody in the row, and the person giving the talk, and then the people that's standing there guarding it. After everybody else gets it, then they have this weird way. I'm sure one of the elders or somebody that was an elder or that high up can explain it in the comments. It's like, now that everybody else has been served, has everyone been served? It's very serious. And then they wait.
Quiet and awkward. Like, you have to be like so quiet, and you're so nervous about like passing the offerings. You don't want to spill it or anything like that. Like when you're a kid, the first time I was actually allowed to pass it, which passing it is such a big thing. Okay, you're literally just passing the glass of wine and passing the plate of bread.
Cheap wine and some nasty bread.
Yeah, but anyway, it's so serious in that moment. But like you were saying with the elders, whenever they go to the front. And it's ministerial servants too, isn't it?
I think sometimes, but it's real weird. And once everybody passed it, it's like one of the elders will go sit down, then stand back up, and he'll walk up and pass it to the person that had it. It's like this.
Yeah.
And then they go back and sit down. It's like man, if you don't pass that cheap liquor around in that bread and get this thing over with.
Literally, like you guys have had it this whole time, and everybody was quiet. So can't that be considered a pass?
You touched
passed it to everybody.
Right.
Okay, so I feel like we're gonna take like a different aspect of this whole memorial like conversation, because we say all the time, like whenever we woke up from this religion, we didn't wake up just from the religion, but like from a lot of things. Yes, life in general. And we're realizing that, okay, we have been lied to about basically everything. They tell us to, boom, eat cereal every day in the morning because it's the best thing that you can eat. And really, it's like it's empty calories. Nothing great of sustenance comes from that, right?
Yeah, milk builds strong bones, but it really helps with cancer.
Yes, like all of these things, like, you know, having this high amount of sugar in our diets, and that's what leads to disease. Or about how the hospitals, when you go there to our healthcare systems, nobody's ever actually trying to treat your root issue. They're just giving you a medication to band-aid over the symptoms, right?
Right.
Or how 85% of the world's wealth is owned by the top 15% of people. Like that is insane. These are things that we learned like once we came out, okay?
Yeah, and these are things that we talk about amongst each other, and it's not a lot of people you could talk to about this type of stuff.
Yes, because it's so normalized, and it's something that like most people are just so blind to, you know, because it's just a normal part of our life. And then we realize, you know, it's actually to these top people's benefit to keep everybody in the dark about the truth of things, you know,
and
or else they can't profit.
Right, and then thinking once you wake up from, you know, this religion, like us, we question everything we came across.
Yeah.
And we not saying like you got to believe this, but people ask what we believe. So we just look at life like life is supposed to be challenging. You're supposed to have difficulties because that's how you kind of navigate through this thing. And then when you learn things, you teach it to other people. Some people might listen, some might not, but we all been influenced by somebody that was great. Even the greatest people had somebody that gave them information that wasn't the norm.
Yeah.
That inspired them for them to be great, because these people that are like the greatest people in history, they stick out for a reason because they didn't think like the norm.
They thought different, outside of the box, you know? And if you listen to a lot of these people, and we're not saying that we want to be like one of the greats, but it is very interesting to study them and understand what they know, you know, because they know these things for a reason. And once you study them, you realize that they do think different. Like, they live their life very differently, and they have a lot of knowledge on like multiple topics.
Definitely. Now, you notice, especially when we were witnesses, the memorial wasn't the exact same date every year.
No.
And they went off, I want to say, what was the Jewish calendar when the moon aligned in that time. So they try to, and this is one of the things for them to have the truth. We're going to get it as close as possible as where the moon would be over there.
For the Jews,
for
where
the
Jews would be able to see it at.
Right.
But it's just crazy because whenever I was a witness, I didn't actually know that they were having the memorial like every night, like on the night of a full moon, you know?
Right.
So here in the US or like in different parts of the world, it may be like a day difference or a day and a half difference, but that's why they are very methodical when it comes to choosing the date of the memorial. And they choose it on the day that it lines up perfectly for where the Jews would have been able to see it for a full moon, basically. So it's just funny because in any other religion or anything, this would be considered like a demonic ritual because they're passing emblems that are symbolic of Jesus Christ's blood and symbolic of Jesus Christ's body.
And we're going to drink it.
And they're going to drink it. And the moon has to be in a certain spot. And for the skeptics, like regardless if you think that the moon has an effect on people or not, that's neither here or there. We're just going to give you the information that we know. Yeah. And you can let us know if you find any interest in it.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so we're going to pull up JW Library. And this was a question from readers back in 1977. Here it says, I understand that the memorial celebration was always on the evening of a full moon, but in 1977, the memorial was on April 3rd, and my calendar gave April 4th for the full moon. Why the difference? And this is basically just what we explained. The Jehovah's Witnesses go off of where they would see it in Jerusalem. So that's why sometimes it's different depending on what calendar is being used. The fact that we all use different calendars is insane. But anyway, we're going to highlight this paragraph that is 4 paragraphs down, where it says, Jehovah's Witnesses now follow this ancient pattern in determining the memorial's date. Please note that the first thing that needs to be established is when the new moon nearest the spring equinox around March 21st will be visible in Jerusalem. This is not the astronomical new moon time listed on a calendar or astronomical table. Why? Because the first thin sliver of the new moon is not visible until 18 to 30 hours after the moment of the astronomical new moon. That's a lot of astronomy, isn't it?
For real. For somebody that don't believe in any of that stuff and say it's demonic, they sure are making that the basis off their decision.
Yes, literally. So it's just interesting seeing this, that even other readers had questioned it.
Right.
And no, this is proof that they always try to do it on a full moon.
Yep. So we're not making it up.
So it's funny because the organization always says that they're like okay with astronomy, but not necessarily astrology. But back in the day, those two words used to be synonymous. They used to be the same thing. Like it was all one study. It wasn't until like the 18th century that they made them two different entities.
Right.
And we're just going to tell you guys the difference because for a while I didn't know the difference. So we'll let you guys know. Astronomy is the study of the universe and its contents outside of Earth's atmospheres. Astronomers examine the positions, motions, and properties of celestial objects. Astrology attempts to study how these positions, motions, and properties affect people and events on Earth. That's the difference. So it's just like one step extra. Astrology just takes it one step extra. Everything outside of the Earth is going to have an effect on the Earth because things within the Earth has an effect on things on the Earth. So why this is such a crazy study doesn't make any sense to me. Like why people are so against astrology makes absolutely no sense to me.
When God is supposed to be a universal being.
Yeah.
So that is something outside of the earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
If things within the earth are out of balance, it's going to have an effect on people, right?
Right.
So why would things outside of the earth not have an effect on people?
Exactly. Versus even think about working third shift. How your body has a hard time with the sunlight, with it being daytime,
Yes.
sleeping, versus when the moonlight hits and that affects your melatonin and things like that, so your body is more relaxed.
Yes.
It's easier to work first shift than it is to work third shift.
Yep.
For a reason.
Yep, you bring up such a good point, because even if, okay, let's say in this crazy world that like the moon has zero effect on people, right?
Right.
But it's going to have an effect on your sleep cycles. And there was actually a study that was produced where it's really hard to study like how the moon has an effect on people. And that's where astrologers have had an issue in like being able to record data, because they just know that all this weird stuff happens on nights of the full moon.
Yeah.
And crime rates go up. People who have like mental health disorders, bipolar and things, they cycle through their manic phases quicker on nights of full moon. But it also affects the tides.
It does. Anytime, and you see in person, even working in a hospital, how it affects.
Yeah.
And I'm sure anybody else in the comments that works in a hospital have noticed people acting different during the full moon.
Yeah, it's a running joke, because you'll have people that are not confused, and all of a sudden they'll become confused on nights of the full moon. So it's like,
Right.
Is it a full moon tonight? Anytime we're having like a crazy, insane night, we always ask, is it a full moon tonight? Because likely it is, and that's why so many crazy things are happening.
It is. Even certain Jehovah's Witnesses, like my mom, even though she's disfellowship, she believes in, oh, it's a full moon. People acting whoop-de-woo. There are witnesses that don't even realize they believe in a piece of astrology without actually paying attention to it.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what they say, is that there's only anecdotal evidence, but anecdotal evidence still matters, you know?
Right.
So this study basically shows how they ended up being able to take out, like the belief of people going in and being observed for the full moon. They just told people like, hey, you guys are coming in for like a sleep study kind of thing.
Right.
And then they were able to study them during the night of a full moon. And we'll pull the study up so that you guys can see it and everything.
That makes sense though. Even think about the ocean tides being affected by the moon, and with humans being over 3/4 of water,
Yes.
it affects. Come on now, just put 2 and 2 together.
Yes, and to me, this is an innate reaction. Like, we don't have control over how it affects us. It just it's innate response within us. Even when you look at the animals and things, like some different bugs will come out during full moon cycles and things. It's innate. And if we're all connected, and if we're all supposed to be, one, and if God created us all, then why would this not have an effect on us?
Right, we all operate together. Everything's on this earth. Even us breathing and the plants breathing together creates life. We feed from the plant. We die, we go back to the dirt. Same with animals. Everything is connected.
Yep. I think it's funny too how like so many people are so quick to, say that astrology is not real and all of these things. But there are so many things that are invisible that we continue to give credit to. Like, even with a Christian religion, you believe in God. You're giving power to something that is invisible, right?
Right. Holy Spirit, all of this stuff you can't see.
All of it is anecdotal. Literally, all of it is anecdotal.
Right.
All the experiences that you have and everything is determined upon faith and all of these weird things. It's supernatural, So
Right.
the fact that people can separate the two is just like, okay, you don't see the resemblance here. You don't see the resemblance between all of these supernatural things. Even take gravity, like
You can't see
you can't see gravity, but we know it's there.
Yeah, there's no proof of gravity or even energy. You can't see energy, but you can look at two people and say, man, they got good energy, or this person give me bad vibes.
Yeah.
You can't see vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just funny that they're so quick to reject teachings of astrology, but literally NJW.org, they are talking about the spring equinox and how all of their timing is shaped around the spring equinox and around the moon being at a certain point, you know?
Right. Why does it matter? And we'll even pull up, this kind of explains in a nutshell the spring equinox. So what does the spring equinox represent? The spring equinox is a joyful holiday centered around rebirth and growth. It is the arrival of spring. The earth is coming alive again. The spring equinox is a festival of awakening and rebirth.
Yeah, and a lot of people will celebrate spring equinox as basically the new year, which if we were to have the calendars that Ethiopia has, then we would also be celebrating the new year in the spring, which would make complete sense because that's when everything is, like it said, coming alive again, instead of celebrating a new year in the coldest months whenever everything is dark. And
and it's in the middle. It's not like the beginning of winter or nothing like that. It's just out of nowhere. And we'll even pull up showing how the calendars were changed, because like you said, the new year, it would make more sense for it to be around this time. The plants are coming back. Bears were hibernating. Even a lot of things like mosquitoes, once it warms up, start to come back. Everything is coming back alive, and you feel this sense of fresh air.
Yes. You feel better. Like, I know me personally, when I'm going outside and I'm seeing all these colors and I'm like, oh gosh, that looks so nice, versus going outside and seeing naked trees and everything is dead.
Right. So this is something important we wanted to show, so we'll put it on the screen. And it says the Gregorian calendar was a reform of the Julian calendar. It was instituted by, I might slaughter this name, Papal Bull Inter Gravissimus, dated the 24th of February, 1582, by Pope Gregory. So notice this is a Christian thing that put this calendar out in the first place. And to this day, this is the calendar that was pushed throughout a lot of the lands. Not everybody, conform to this, like Ethiopia, Afghanistan, a couple other places.
And Nepal, they still have their old calendars. And apparently they're like years behind because this new calendar that we have adopted is so different. And so that's another reason why the memorial can seem like it's on, a different day, because not only the time differences, but also the kind of calendar that we're using.
Definitely. So now it's getting into the point. Why is it? Because now we understand that the New Year's we always known as being New Year's is actually at a different time. But of course, the people that made this up would know this.
Of course.
But everybody else is left in the dark. So let's move on into that point now.
Now, I'm sitting here wondering, like, where did these New Year's resolutions, become a thing? Why did it become a thing? Because to me, the memorial is basically a New Year's resolution for the organization. That's how I view it, especially once we left and everything. So I looked it up. When did New Year's resolution begin? The ancient Babylonians are said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolutions some 4,000 years ago. And though for them, the year began not in January, but in mid-March when the crops were planted. See
how this all falls together?
I know that it seems like crazy when you're first intaking all of the information, but like I said, everything ends up being connected. The Jehovah's Witnesses base it off of the spring equinox. Spring equinox is in March. That is a New Year's resolution. Do we see this?
For real, we just getting started.
So then if we scroll down, or at the bottom of this screenshot, it says, why did the Babylonians make resolutions? During an annual 12-day religious festival called Akatu, the Babylonians made promises to the gods to repay debts and return borrowed objects. These commitments were seen as a way to start the year with a clean slate and gain favor from the deities.
We can't make this up.
We can't make it up.
No.
Do you guys see the connection?
Come on now. And if you don't see it yet, you about to get it.
I think you'll see it eventually, okay? So in its very lightest form, I feel like we can say, okay, the Jehovah's Witness organization, maybe they have no idea about all this manifestation and blah, 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 and all of these things. But we can't say that they're hypocrites because of the way that they use these timelines and everything. So in the very lightest form, we can say that, okay?
Definitely.
In its darkest form, we can say they have knowledge of all of this.
For real.
And really, this is a true-to-life ritual, possibly a sacrifice, and they're not just commemorating the death of Jesus Christ, but instead maybe they're doing this for personal gain.
And you know what else? We'll put the icing on the cake. Right here, we'll put a picture of Charles Taze Russell's grave.
We're going to have a whole other video about Charles Taze Russell and his his link to the Freemasons, because that has been another topic I think that people have been wanting to know about.
Yeah, so y'all just seen the picture we put up, and so let your mind ponder on that for a little bit, but we'll move forward and look at the screen on this part. So going into the lunar eclipse, that's March 25th this year, and it asks, can you manifest during a lunar eclipse? It's a time to manifest our desires and let go of what no longer serves us. In October, the cosmic events, lunar eclipse, offer us a unique window of opportunity. It's a time to manifest our desires and let go of what no longer serves us. And then jumping down, look where it says, what does the lunar eclipse mean spiritually? Throughout history, lunar eclipses have been seen as potential symbols of inner transformation and renewal. In many spiritual traditions, these celestial events are considered powerful times for meditation, reflection, and setting of intentions.
Yeah, and this is what's so crazy. Okay, so memorial is almost always held on the full moon nights, right?
Right.
So for people who do know about astrology and things, new moons are whenever you are bringing things in, like you're setting intentions and wanting to bring things in.
Right.
Full moons are more so of letting things go to be able to like replace them.
Right.
Okay, so it's almost like, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to gain this kind of thing?
Right.
For normal
That's
people,
a mindset.
yeah. So for normal people, it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do my spring cleaning. That's where spring cleaning comes from.
Yep.
My spring cleaning, getting rid of the old, bringing in the new. Now, if we relate this, okay, stay with me. If we relate this to the Jehovah's Witnesses and think about how large of an event this is,
right,
and how it is celebrated all across the world, okay, and it is hammered into your head to invite new people.
Yo, everybody
needs to be invited, right?
Right.
Why? Are they setting their intentions, perhaps? Are they setting their intentions to have more people throughout the year? Do they believe in these things, perhaps?
Right.
Are they doing some kind of sacrifice in a way? Because so many people throughout the year end up passing away, so many Jehovah's Witnesses, through their doctrines.
Right.
So this can get deep and dark. You know what I mean?
Right, it could definitely go there.
Yeah, it could get deep and dark. So that's why I'm saying at the lightest, it's them just being hypocrites. Or at the deepest and darkest, it could be this.
It just comes down to how realistic can you be looking at this stuff? Because at the end of the day, it's a rich company. And it would be quick to look at another rich organization or company and be like, them people corrupt. Look how they get to the top. But somehow when it becomes Jehovah's Witnesses, now it's every excuse. The brothers imperfect and
They're
all
such
this.
good people.
Yeah, they have good intentions and they love us. They don't even know us.
Yeah, do they really? You have to realize, like, all throughout life, it is key for these very large companies or very large governments to keep most of their members and followers in the dark, because that's the only way, like we were saying in the beginning, that's the only way that they can make profit. If their commoners knew everything about everything, then that is crippling to their society and crippling to their government. So do I believe that the organization knows about these things? Yeah, I do.
The fact that they have these court cases going on and are covering up information.
Yeah.
Somebody that's God's people and are genuine people will have no problem coming forward about something. But the fact they gotta hide stuff and then tell the members, hey, don't watch that, don't listen to that, don't do this.
Yeah.
It's purposely to keep people in the dark.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that the religion is a lot more evil than we have led on to believe,
Definitely. And you see that when you wake up and realize how this information is hidden and how other people are treated. Even when you make a mistake, you are treated less than human.
Yeah. Yep. But this was just an interesting video for us to make. I am very curious to see what the skeptics are going to think about this, because there's people out there who don't believe in astrology at all.
Right. They don't have to.
You don't have to, but here's the information. Let us know what you think about it. I'm curious.
Right. It is. And you will never look at the memorial the same now. And it's just like how we showed the whole, everybody knows about a New Year's resolution and when it's actually done. And the fact that it's just being done at a later time when the earth is actually, you know, rebuilding itself or coming back into full force.
Yeah,
you know?
Back into life. And I do want to give a small shout out to, she's our tax lady, but she dropped a really cool video on the spring equinox and everything. Her name is Sacred Secret Official, and she has this Zen bar in Atlanta. If you guys are ever out here and want to check it out, pretty cool.
Yeah, she's clutch.
Yeah, pretty cool, because this helped link some things together for us. It's like we had all of this information, but just needed to like meld it together, you know?
In order to come up with a creation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But make sure y'all jump on Lulu. And a lot of people have been asking, how can we get the book? How can we get the book? In the description of the video, click it and it'll show, like, you know, the description of the video. It'll be a link to the book and some hashtags if it's hard to explain. And we will put it in every one of our videos. We will put the link to the normal version and the PMO version. Yep, so rebuilding after this Jehovah's Witness organization. This is the guide right here by Awaken Truths. Y'all can find it on Lulu in our description. Make sure y'all get on there. Our Instagram at Awaken Truths IG. Hit us up on there. Oh my gosh, and our giveaway. Oh, and our giveaway. That's right. Forgot. Yeah. We hit 5,000 subscribers. So on our next video will be the one where we decide who the winner is. They'll get the book. And they'll get a $50 gift card. Okay, you have to follow our Instagram page at Awaken Truth IG. You have to watch our last video, like it, and comment done on our last video, okay? Once you do those 3 things, follow our Instagram page, watch and like our last video, and comment done on that video. And then we will choose out of those people on who to give the giveaway to. Yep, so we're looking forward to it. Make sure y'all keep hitting this up. Let us know what y'all think in these comments, because I know y'all getting crazy invitations right now. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we got one. That's crazy. Right, we about to burn it up too. This right here. Going in the show. Remember how guilty you would feel getting rid of a publication? Look at this dude. Do he look like some man wandering around Africa? No, this is not Jesus. This is not the truth. Look at all the trigger witnesses. Look at that. Jehovah's gonna get you. Not get you. She got other problems to worry about. Worry about that Royal Commission. But anyways, what they gotta do? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch y'all later. Peace and love.